After. Then. Okay. I wrote it out in Scan's chat of like the difference in time periods. So my argument, right, and it's the same reason I have Sidious and Rebels above Vader. So what I think, right, and kind of what I think is consistent here, because there's statements that suggest that Vader is the strongest during the Fallen Order timeline, and then there's scenes in the Vader comics that suggest that Vader, at certain points, believes that he can overwhelm the Emperor. And there's also, again, like the Force choke scene and stuff like that. But what I believe personally happens is that Sidious progressively gets stronger. So obviously, as you know, Return of the Jedi, Sidious is the strongest Sidious. There's also things like the fact that the galaxy is at its lowest state, right? So characters are consistently dying. The Jedi, for the most part, are like completely wiped out. The Inquisitors took care of that stuff and everything. So there's all this death in the air, all this disparity. The dark side is stronger than ever, and the galaxy is at its lowest. So Sidious should be even more powerful than he was before. Now, the issue is Vader during this this Fallen Order / Vader comic line period that has these arguments and these statements, right? What I think happens is that he can be stronger, right, than an Order 66 or a post Order 66 Palpatine, but then Palpatine excelled and got drastically stronger himself in Rebels and other continuity. So do you know when New Hope starts, right, and the OT starts, Vader consistently kind of views himself as inferior to the Emperor, which is why when he meets Luke, it's not even just like the disparity and all those things, right? Vader has no longer really tried to attempt to take out Palpatine like he does in the Vader comics. He's not even really thinking about it. Now he's just like, oh, let me go get Luke, and he wants to go try to get Luke to take down the Emperor together. So like the entire like narrative and like the entire like Vader's mindset and what he wants to do against the Emperor has like changed drastically. So I think there's like a big difference between like the Rebels Vader too, because Rebels Vader is very similar, and then like the OT, because Rebels is only 5 years before OT.
Yeah, of course, there's a difference in power. But then the question becomes this, right? So we've set out the timeline. We know at what points you believe they're strongest. So what is to explain for Vader's sudden jump?
Oh yeah, sure. So Vader's sudden jump would be his anger.
Through what means?
If we know, okay, so if we know that Kenobi is 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, and we know that 5 years before Kenobi, Vader was looking for Kenobi, and he had all this bloodlust, all this anger. He was going around questing. He was in his most active state combat wise. He was in his most active state mission wise, and everything that he had to do. And he was the most active. Then it would make the most sense for him to be at his physical strongest, right? But then for the contradiction to be like, okay, well, the contradiction should be, well, why isn't he stronger than Palpatine during Kenobi or during Rebels and all those things? And I'm saying it's not a contradiction, and the reason for that is because Palpatine just got stronger himself. So the Palpatine within the Rebels time period or Kenobi time period is completely different, which is why Vader doesn't feel like he can beat him. And it also plays in with consistency, because if Kenobi was stronger than that Vader, right, in Kenobi, right, and Palpatine was weaker than that Vader in Kenobi, then there should have been an implication that Kenobi thinks that he's somehow stronger, greater than that Palpatine. But that's not the case, because obviously, like, Kenobi's mindset and stuff are completely different while addressing that Palpatine. So I think it's just more likely Palpatine got stronger than to assume that he's the exact same strength during that time period.
Well, yeah, of course, I agree Palpatine got stronger. I think he gets stronger throughout. But, like, my issue is this, right? So you're right, Vader was actively on missions, he was actively killing people, whatever, but his anger wasn't really influenced by that. And I don't know where you're getting that from.
What, Vader being angry?
Yeah, during the time period
it would be closer to Revenge of the Sith when it was at his peak. So yeah, he would be more angry.
But he wasn't at his peak in Revenge of the Sith. That's the issue. Now we're talking about specifically.
I'm not talking about peak power. I'm saying peak anger, because after the death of Padme, Vader is his most angry.
Yeah, but that's not when you're saying he surpassed Sidious, right? What time period are you saying he surpassed Sidious again?
That's what I'm saying, though. It's five years. Okay, so Fallen Order in the Vader comic line is somewhat within that 5 year time period, right after Revenge of the Sith. So the issue is during that time period, Vader Okay, I'm glad to just start meeting people. But during that time period, Vader's at his most angriest because he's closer to the events of Revenge of the Sith. So he's angry. Vader during Fallen Order and during the Vader comic line is more angry. He has more hatred and all that stuff than he would later throughout the years as time has passed and the way he feels about Padme and all that stuff. Now it's like depression, sorrow, and sadness. Like he starts to question things. Then later, when you get farther and farther into the comics, right, as the years start to go by, that's when you get that like that resolution Vader that starts to question like, what would happen if he turned to the light side and all that stuff. Like he becomes way more conflicted and less angry throughout the years.
Yeah, I agree. He becomes less conflicted and less angry over time within the time period between ROTS and ANH, right? But the issue is, if you're saying that at this point during Fallen Order, the reason that he's so angry that he surpassed Palpatine is because he's being reminded of Order 60. Like, that logic doesn't follow. Right?
Whoa. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that he's that angry because of Padme's death. He's closer to Padme.
This was how long after Padme's death?
Okay, it would be like somewhat like 5 years after Padme's death.
Okay, now you get where I'm losing you here, right? It's like 5 years after. Now you think he's peaking in anger?
Well, no. I'm saying that he's still angry, but that's when he's at his angriest. I'm saying his peak anger is somewhat closer to Revenge of the Sith because when he first let me explain the events right in the Vader comic line. So obviously when he first fights in the Vader comic line, you have early Vader who again, like, he's getting used to his suit, has to fight what's his name?
Kirak.
Yeah, Kirak. And then you have Kirak being stated to be stronger than Obi-Wan. Obviously, but we know that technically Kirak has to be weaker than Yoda because Yoda stated to be the strongest Jedi. Yeah, and then after that, what I'm saying is Vader gets stronger because he bleeds his kyber crystal. He reconfirms his hatred, and then you see Vader travel. You get to the point where Vader's going on the missions. You get the Padme vision and his anger and his bloodlust, and he starts to question and connive against the Emperor behind his back. So all that stuff is like within closer to the Revenge of the Sith period. So like the level of anger between a comic Vader and a Fallen Order Vader is completely different than the level of anger with as a New Hope or an OT Vader. Like there's no way that Vader has the same level of anger and bloodlust in the OT that he does in the Fallen Order or the Vader comic line. He just doesn't.
And he still gets stronger, right?
What do you
understand that? Like Vader peaks in OT, right? We both agree.
So yes, but Palpatine does too. That's why I'm saying it's not a contradiction. So I'm saying Palpatine got stronger. So Vader was initially stronger, and then Palpatine got stronger as well.
I'm not understanding how you're quantifying it. Is it just that one statement?
No, it's the statement plus the force feats and other things. As far as like
what
Vader
believing.
The crushing. I can post.
Okay, you understand that feat would never be replicable again by Vader, right? Unless he lost his mind.
What do you mean?
Like the way that he did that was because he was so he literally lost his mind in that moment that his force just output itself everywhere, right? In one big rage blast. He could never do that again if he was sane.
I don't even think that's the case, but
it absolutely is. Sure, go ahead. It's from the 2015 comic. It should be.
Yeah. Looking
I've seen it. I promise you. I know what you're talking about. But the issue is with the comic is right after that. And I know you already said before you don't think it mattered because he was calmed down. Yeah. But what I'm telling you is I don't think how do I put this? Him being calmed down to me doesn't seem like a good argument to say that Palpatine would only say that because he was in whatever we can say he was in. Yeah.
The thing, the reason why that's like a horrible argument though is because obviously as if you should know as a Star Wars fan, Palpatine completely used his manipulation tactics and then will say things to again garner Vader to be under him. That's the entire point. There's multiple times and there's multiple scans, even throughout the OT and things that suggest, a little before the OT, that seemed to suggest that Vader was conniving against Palpatine, and Palpatine already knew multiple times that Vader would try to betray him. That's also the entire point of the Rule of Two, and it's consistent with Palpatine and Vader's narrative, right? So for Palpatine to say, yeah, don't ever do that again or I'll kill you, right? It's simply threatening Vader and flexing his power after he's calmed down. So Vader, again, who's at this point, who just got shocked and injured, is going to say, I don't want to do this anymore. It's like somebody talking shit to you while you're weakened. So of course Vader's not going to want to just get angry. Neither can neither do I think that Vader could just inherently get that angry unless somebody made him. So like that's why I think it's like the resolved Vader I have on the tier list, right? What is it called? Is it just the resolved Vader?
It's Anakin again, like redeemed.
Yeah. But that, like the entire narrative point of that Vader, right? It's basically saying that like
it's wrong. That's like I won't get into that now because I don't really care about redeemed Vader scanning. But he was at his weakest when he did that in ROTJ. That's all I'm gonna say. But look at the scans from there, right? So when he hits
Wait, hold up.
Yeah, when he hits Palpatine with that shit, Palpatine completely negates it, right? He's not hurt at all. Yeah.
Okay, wrong. You didn't post the full thing. So there's the slam, the no, then he screams, he goes that scan and explodes against his back. That's the scan that he's
completely unharmed.
What?
Yeah, look at the latter panels.
If I force choke somebody or I force slam you against the wall and you scream in pain, you're being hurt.
Okay, Vader, look at this right here. Palpatine. Do you see what's surrounding his body?
Yeah, I see what's surrounding his body.
Right. So the reason why he said is because obviously if anyone's going to hit, it's going to hurt, right? But he was unharmed in the sense that there was no visible damage or he didn't show any damage afterward. He was completely fine.
Okay, so that itself is a horrible argument because again, there's a difference between like slamming a character and harming a character and internal damage versus there being external damage. So like if I was to touch you, so like let me give an example. So if I was to grab you, right, and I picked you up and I boomed your ass on the floor and I slammed you on the ground, you don't inherently have to bleed. You don't inherently have to be scratched. You don't inherently have to be anything. Your body can look physically fine, but you can still be extremely hurt.
So don't you think if I was hurt, wouldn't I show signs of that? Like if I got punched in the stomach?
That's the sign does he scream?
No, that's when you hit the back. Okay, like this at this point, like it's not worth arguing over. If you think you guys hurt,
okay, so hold up. If I pick you up, right, and I slam you on the ground, and you go ah. What do you think
these examples suck because this isn't real life. This is Star Wars, right? And he coated himself in a force, and he was completely unharmed after that.
Hold up. Okay, let's stop right there. Do you not notice how in the scan that you posted, there's a blue trail of the force over him, but in the scans where he throws him, there's no blue trail. So
yes,
using your same argument, you're saying that he didn't have the force on for that period of time.
He didn't have the force when he got hit, but right after he collided, the force turned on, and he guarded himself, right?
So after he started, so while he's talking to him, calming him down, correct?
No.
He was able to use it.
Yes, it should be sometime before that because there would be no use in doing it after that.
Okay, there's no way to prove that. We just see that as soon as we see the blue field above him, we just see that he's talking. So we don't know what happened first.
We'll argue the point once it gets animated, okay?
You said that's what I'm saying. That whole point is cringy. So whether it be the force field, whether it be the force field came first or the words came first, it doesn't really matter. What
Here's
matters,
the issue, right?
You said
so the issue is.
Okay, let me finish. Okay, so whether the words came first or the force field came first, it doesn't matter. What I think matters is while Vader was lifting him up physically and using his power, he couldn't turn it on while he was doing it. That's what I think what matters. Because as I explained to, and I was talking to to True about, I think it was like yesterday, the other day, in Star Wars, right? If a character is using the force power and they're like picking you up telekinetically or force choking you or throwing you, right? Typically characters, whenever they're relative in force power or they're able to stop an attack, they let out like a push or throw you off of them, or you force choke them, they override it, they overpower it, right? But again, there's a difference between, or like you force push somebody and then they force slide back, or like, not force slide, but they like when Ahsoka pushes Vader, that's a good example. Ahsoka pushes Vader, Vader slides back, showing that the push was not that effective. Or characters pull Vader, it doesn't really do anything effective. You see Vader completely negate it, right? So then in this case, Palpatine does not negate it. It's only afterwards, right? So contextually, this shield or this aura pops up after he was thrown and overpowered, not while he was doing it. He didn't try to override it. He didn't try to stop it.
You agree he was caught off guard, right? Just before I start this?
You said what?
You agree he was caught off guard, right?
No, not to an extent.
Then I don't know what to say. Like, here's how I'm looking at it right now, okay? So let's say your argument is right. There was no blue force field. He was just hit. He was damaged a little bit. This was Vader's full rage coming into his suit, right? Complete output. He had no control over that. And at this point, he could barely leave a visible harm on Sidious, nor did Sidious show any signs of being harmed afterward. So if your argument is that somehow some rage amp is going to let him match Sidious.
He's
It
against
doesn't seem to be the case,
okay.
right?
One he's against the wall, so we don't know. We can't tell that because for all we know, he's just against the wall and it cuts off after that panel. So
You know what I mean?
it's not like after that panel it shows him walking out the room and we see him limping. They didn't show anything after that panel, so we just know he's against the wall and he was in pain previously. So we don't know what happened.
Well, we did watch him walk out of the room. That's exactly what happened.
Let me get this scan. I'm saying that we don't see it contextually. Like we can't really watch him walk. Like we don't see anything like that.
Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know how to argue this. The point is, I'm not trying to say like he'd have like visible scratches, right? But I think obviously if someone would be hit to the extent that you're saying they would be hit, to the point where they would be harmed, they'd have to show some form of it, right? And if they didn't, like in this case, then I'm inclined to believe that if your argument utilizes Vader's rage as an ability to match Sidious, and his full rage did nothing to Sidious, then you couldn't match Sidious.
Okay, well, there's a difference again between Vader outputting rage in all directions and force push and telekinetically slamming him against the wall versus Vader focusing his rage. That's completely different.
Yeah, do you think it'd be stronger if he focused it?
Yeah, 100%.
Do you think he can focus it?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, well that's where we disagree. I think the point of the raw output was the fact that he couldn't focus his rage, which is why it went everywhere.
I'm not saying he can at that time. I'm saying later he could.
At what point?
Throughout the Vader comics, when he has the same exact undying rage and anger. Like he gets like submerged in lava, and all he thinks about is Padme. He gets like those same visions of Padme. Like he still is angry, and then we see that carry over, like when he fights a moment, and like all the other stuff happens throughout the.
Wait, at what point did he focus anger of this level?
That's what I'm saying though. What constitutes anger of this level? Because Palpatine isn't there during those instances to where he is angry.
Well, in this point, he's shaking the room, so I'd look for something comparable to that, even if you're like specifying.
So him shaking a room, but that doesn't inherently mean that it's stronger. That's like more so DC. That's not AP. That like
Star Wars, it's different, right? Because in Star Wars, it's
no.
Yeah,
a character can shake a room or use that effect. Like there's tons of characters that could do that if they wanted to. Obi-Wan could do that shit if he wanted to.
No.
Yeah.
Like if we're talking specifically in this, no. Okay, so. How do I put this? So Yoda in the comics struggled to hold up a mountain, right? And that was his force. Like he was using everything he could there. In this case, because Vader is having like an outburst and the rage is going everywhere, right? I'm inclined to believe that the fact that it was pure rage made it stronger than if he were to try and specify it to a single area. That's all I'm saying.
That's okay. Yeah, that's different because if he tried to specify it to a different area, it depends on his rage or how angry he was at that point.
Can you show me an example?
Throughout the Vader runs.
Yeah, give me like one example of him having rage to this level, but he actually utilized it properly.
Sure. I'll show examples throughout the Vader comics where I think that he should be just as angry.
Sure.
I got you. We're just talking about Vader for the person that asked what the topic was. I'm just talking about Vader and why I think that he's stronger than Palpatine at certain points, but then he's weaker than Palpatine at other points.
And I basically just think he's always weaker than Palp, so just kind of the narrative pushed.
Kruos, remember one time you admitted inferiority to me?
Who?
You.
I don't even know who you are, bro.
That's a bad look, my nigga, and you got a lisp.
Wait, is Aslick in this VC? No. Cool. Because I know they had two spars. I'm trying to figure out when the second one was. One was Hidden Empire, post ESB. I feel like one was closer to ROTS. Let me see.
Nah, the dick suck is crazy in this game. No, I was reading something.
No. Okay, hold on. I was just told that this one was post ROTS, the one that I found now.
Oh,
So the one where Vader was like absolutely fucking obliterated by Palps would be post ROTS. I can try and find like specifically what year, but I don't know how well that's gonna go.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that that Vader is exactly the Vaders that I would be talking about. I referenced that too, but this isn't new.
What? That this would be an early Vader?
Yeah, to an extent, because
That's what I'm trying to find.
Yeah, because the thing is that I was mentioning is, right, remember when I mentioned the Kyber Crystal fight where they fighting the Kyber Crystal and then Palpatine like shits on him with all the power?
The Force choke one?
I think so. I'm pretty sure. But
Yeah.
regardless of that, like in that same scan that you just posted, that's where he makes this statement. He's like, "Yeah, you fight like a Jedi," and it's like I think it's representing like Vader's character not fully fully leaning or fully concentrated into the dark side. I don't think Vader's at his fullest at that moment.
So once he fully concentrated.
When he fights like a Sith, when he starts doing things and he submits his actions in the way of the Sith, like when he conforms completely.
Okay,
So
let's just go back.
That's the entire point of the Vader comic line. Like the entire point of that run is that Vader is going around doing things to completely submit himself fully to the dark side, which is why it's not even really until like the OT, so where he directly has those moments, and then there's conflictions and things that happen. But throughout the comic run, like he's struggling with that same thing. There's like several visions of Padme, which is what
Wait, do you know what comic run this was?
You said what?
Do you know what comic run this scan is from?
Specifically,
yeah,
it probably. Let me guess. Let's go look at the art. Yeah,
don't worry about it.
This is older, so that'll probably be like I don't know if that's the 2015 one specifically, but I know it's around that era.
No, it's not even a Vader run. It's from the Star Wars comics. That's like it's not even a Vader run, right?
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. Did you find any examples yet?
Let me see. I got you.
I was told post USB. I'm not gonna really verify.
Here we are. This is the issue I want. 24.
Which comic are you looking through?
2017.
No, the one where he kind of gets bodied by what's his name, Eth Koth, huh? You think that was a good example of Vader's strength being exercised properly?
There's certain periods of time, yeah.
I mean, the only time he even got the advantage over Koth was when they finally put up his child.
I mean, that's not really, again, like there's different points in. I mean, there's different periods in time within the comics.
Yeah, I know. Of course, yeah. This is one of the later ones. It's one of the later issues, but just let me know when you find that example.
Look in chat. It's loading. I believe in the human spirit. Moose. Ah!
Strongest loud mic on Discord. No one be afraid though. It's okay.
Who's the strongest loud mic here?
BB.
Okay.
I didn't know BB had a loud mic.
Oh yeah, he was mythical on listing. It's a crazy thing.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Hard up.
I'm actually retired.
You're retired?
You guys do not know Star Wars. Don't disrespect my big bro Kruos like that before I have to bitch your shit.
What the fuck?
Oh my god, PV
Damn,
reborn.
nigga, put the fucking pom-poms away.
Yo, dude, wait. It's not big bro. It's big bro. That nigga fatty as shit. Too
Damn.
much chicken sandwiches.
Yo, get him, Demi.
Wrong guy, Forka.
Oh, my bad. Get him, BB.
Wrong guy again.
Why did Ghetto Jin say that with his glasses up and the cockroaches around his basement, boy? You are not safe.
Nigga, I'm always safe. Stop playing.
We are.
Baby loud mic and low micers.
Well, why are they quiet?
Getting something because the shit won't load.
They're watching the movie as they debate because they don't watch Star Wars.
Damn, W dick suck. Yeah. Here we go. Looking skin shot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, these are like the stuff that I'm referencing. So I'm getting this is from like it's like what is it? Issue. Let me remember the exact. It's issue 25. This is like during the end of the 2017 run, and it's towards the whole dark dimension like things.
You get into a dangerous realm there because it's not exactly normal Vader.
Let me see. This is the things that I'm referring to. This arc and this what happened before the dark dimension. This is like Vader's anger and him peering through lava and ripping apart like forces to hurry up and get to the temple.
This is also DD Vader, right?
No, that's before.
At the top.
So, yeah,
you're talking about the bottom one?
Yeah, the scans that I posted at the top shows Padme, but then the scans at the bottom was when Vader is so angry, he's like putting up like force shields, protecting himself from lava, splitting apart like a lava ocean, peering through enemies, and he's trying to hurry up and get to the temple so he can go through and like claim Padme or save Padme.
Okay, here's the issue I'm looking at right now is that we're trying to compare feats in terms of anger, right? So which one do you think seems higher?
Whoa, wrong. That's not what I'm trying to do.
What are you trying to do?
What I'm saying is that it's not comparing feats in anger because there could be a DC feat. Like there could be a character who's like, for instance, right? Let me give a perfect example. There could be somebody who's severely angry and they destroy a large area around them, and there could be somebody who's more angry and they only destroy a refrigerator. So like those completely different like analogies. So all I'm trying to say is that during this run and during the 2017 run, Vader is just as angry as he is during those scenes. He is just as powerful.
How do you know that?
Yeah, because
where are you getting the fact
there's contextual clues about how he feels about Padme.
This inference is so out of the moon, dude.
His love and his feelings for Padme are exactly the same, if not greater, because he starts to feel stronger about her.
Absolutely not. You're saying the moment he lost her, the moment he knew she was gone, right then, when he did that giant feat, is comparable to now when for some reason he's like breaking through lava. Really?
First of all, completely different. So there's you realizing. Let me compare the instances, right? So there's you realizing that the person who you loved is dead, and then there's you realizing that you can get past the person that you love, but somebody is stopping you from getting there.
I don't understand. Like, yeah, I understand. Like at that point, yes, he would be angry. But I still think if there was somebody who was trying to stop me from getting someone, even though I knew I could get them, I probably wouldn't be as angry as finding out that they were gone forever.
Well,
right?
no,
and I think the feats are saying that.
Well,
like, look at what he's doing. He's breaking through lava. Like, that's cool, but I don't.
Hold up. You just completely like straw man, like not even just me, but you completely just misrepresented the comic, right? So when Vader figures out that somebody that he loves died, he screams in anger. But when somebody is preventing Vader from getting something that he wants, again, he's extremely angry. So what I'm saying is, what constitutes one as being greater than the other?
What's making him okay? What's showing him angry? That's what I want to know. That's all I want to know. What is showing his anger in this case? We can quantify how angry he was earlier.
Yeah. So what's showing him angry is the way that he's fighting.
Okay, how is he fighting angrily?
I read Fork is confidence scans. Wait, what is that about, bro? Aren't people saying you're racist? Are you racist, Moose?
No, it's from like 3 years. Were you in Debate Sanctuary?
No.
Okay, well, basically like 3 years ago, like I ran a gauntlet and like fucking like Demi, Six Pass, and like all these people, and like white BLM was like a lost cause. And then from then, it's been like the whole thing.
So you're against BLM.
Yeah, but don't worry about that now, okay?
Wait, so you're against BLM now?
No, I've always been, but don't worry about that right now, okay?
True. Look at this.
Interesting. I don't. Okay.
The organization, though, I promise, not the movement.
It's looking bad for you, Ice. You're going against Moose the Nigger Slayer.
Jesus Christ. But essentially what I'm saying is, like, yeah, he's fighting through lava. He probably has a bit of anger, but it's in no way comparable to the earlier anger, to where you could say that he would be just as angry and have the same power.
Okay, okay, let's try to put this, like, I don't know if you know how to write into like syllogisms, or you know how to let's try to like analogize this real quick, right?
Sure, go for it.
Okay, sure. Your reason of constituting why he's more angry in one scan is simply saying because there's a visible area of effect. Yeah, but again, somebody can be just as angry. So the counterpoint to that, or the skeptic route, is somebody can be just as angry and then not visibly destroy a lot of things.
Yeah, so how do we know he's angry?
Yeah, so the counter from that would be, again, how do we know Vader is just as angry? So my thing is, mentally, Vader still has the exact same mindset as he did then, now.
I don't think that's true at all.
Yeah, okay, so why? Okay, let's explain his mindset he had before. So his mindset before was, Padme is dead. I'm extremely angry. I want everything to burn, and I want everyone that is in my way to get out of my way. That's why he throws Palpatine. That's why he completely starts destroying the same ship that he's on. Yes, the same ship that he's on.
The characterization is wrong.
In a bigger effect, he's destroying.
The characterization isn't, I'm going to destroy everyone who gets in my way. It's, I just lost everything that mattered to me.
Yeah, so
and
he wants
breaks
to
down
destroy
He didn't want to destroy everything. That's just a result of him losing everything.
Okay, so
he wasn't mental when he did that.
Let's talk about this real quick, of why that's
sure.
Okay, so if Vader's on a ship, right, and the ship is in outer space, if the ship is destroyed, Vader what? Dies, correct?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Vader dies if the ship is destroyed. So if Vader is destroying his entire ship and he's destroying his master and everything in his way, his entire mindset at that moment is, I don't give a fuck about anything. Everything that is in my way or near me right now is going to be destroyed. It can't
be a mindset because he's not thinking. That's the issue.
Okay.
Right? You understand that, right?
Okay, you're saying that he's not thinking. How is he not thinking if he's doing
Because when he screams no and everything in the room shakes, that's not him actively doing that. That is a result of him realizing he's lost everything and his force goes out of control.
Okay, listen to the contradiction you just said. You just said that Vader is not thinking, but you just said he realized something, which entails that he's thinking.
What are you talking about? When he realizes Padme is gone, then he goes into an uncontrolled rage, right?
Okay,
was he thinking when he did that?
Okay, does his brain turn off? Does he just?
I don't know how to tell you this. When somebody realizes something, they can go into a state of emotionlessness after that. You understand that, right?
Do they stop having thoughts?
Do they stop having? They stop having sane thoughts.
Okay, so he's still having thoughts. So he's still thinking.
What thought is he thinking of when he said yelling no and everything around him is crumbling?
He's thinking of Padme dying.
Oh God. Okay, if you think so.
You said, wait, hold up. I'm going to repeat what you just said, right? So, like, everyone who's listening, right? You basically just said that Vader is having no thoughts, right? So that entails that Vader is not thinking. My entire point of why that is retarded is because Vader is obviously thinking, because the reason why he's screaming and all that stuff is happening is because he's thinking about Padme while that's happening.
Okay, you're confused. No, he wasn't, because Padme happened before that. That's when he had the vision, and then he was told, and then he went into uncontrolled rage. He wasn't thinking of Padme when that rage was happening.
And the rage would stop if he no longer remembered anything, if he wasn't thinking. Because the rage is continuing to affect things, that means he is still thinking.
No, the rage ended because Palpatine pulled him back into saneness. That's why the rage ended, right? You understand that?
Okay, your argument entails that Vader's brain shut off and his like neurons stopped firing. He didn't have.
No, that's not. Do you think that's what it means when I say someone stopped thinking? What I meant was, at that point, he was having no rational thoughts, and it just went into a state of anger that controlled everything around him.
Okay, there's a difference between me saying somebody stopped thinking and somebody stopped thinking clearly. Do you not see those two different things? Do you
understand in context? I'm saying they mean the same thing. That's just how I'm using it. Okay, now go from there.
Okay, so you're using it wrong. So the way that you actually mean to use it,
tell me I'm using words. Really? Is that what this debate has gone to?
So again, what you mean to say is that Vader stopped thinking clearly, right?
Well, I don't think. Okay, how do I put this? In his moment of anger, the moment where he literally just crumbles everything, I don't think at that point he was having an active and/or sane thought. Does that make sense?
Okay,
that is my position. Write it down, put it in a notepad. I don't care. Right?
You think Vader at that point is not having a single sane thought?
No.
Okay. How do you prove this?
because he's in a state of uncontrolled anger.
Okay, and do you think that means he can't have a sane thought? He can't care about his own well-being? He can't care about anything?
Yeah, basically. What do you think uncontrolled anger is? When you're in a state of uncontrolled anger such that you're crumbling everything around you, you're not thinking about your own life at that point and how you're going to conserve yourself.
All he's focused on is rage and anger, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the scan that I posted when he's on, it's right before Dark Dimension, and he's ripping through entire armies and jumping into lava. Does he care about anything? Why is he jumping in lava if he cares about his life?
What are you talking about? Of course, he cares in this case about his future with Padme, right?
In the scan that I posted, right, Vader is in lava. He's jumping through lava because he doesn't give a fuck. So his mindset is that he doesn't even care about his life at that point.
No, that's why he's using the Force Protection Shield. What are you talking about?
Okay, he's using the Force Protection Shield because he wants to get to Padme, not because he cares.
Okay, so he cares about his life with Padme.
No,
right? Yes, he wants to live with Padme.
Those two things are mutually exclusive.
Oh my lord!
The reason why he's doing all of this is to get to Padme, not
and do what with her, and do what with her, and do what with her.
He wants to save Padme. That's
and do what with her.
He wants to save the girl he loves.
He wants to live his life with her, right? It's not that he's actively protecting himself. It's that he's valuing the future potential of him being with Padme.
Not inherently.
I don't. You can use the word inherently, sure, but it doesn't change the argument, right?
Yeah,
so I know
sure,
he's not valuing his own life.
Okay, for your point to be true, right? You have to provide a case to why Vader doesn't care. Vader cares just as much about his life as he does with Padme's, and there's nothing that supports that.
Vader has never cared about his own life. What are you talking about?
So then you drop the point because now you're saying that he doesn't care about his own life. Which
he cares about his future with Padme. That has always been the point. You got it?
That would be a part of his own life.
Oh my god, what are you doing? I don't understand. I'm not I don't plan on drawing circles around you and trying to combobble you. So I'd appreciate if you didn't do the same. My argument's very clear, right?
Okay,
I'm not trying to pull fucking existential aspects, right? So the point is, he wants to live his life with Padme. Now, the argument isn't that means that he can't value his life, because he's not valuing himself. He's valuing the ability to be with Padme. You understand that?
Okay, I got you. 1 second.
Okay.
I'm typing. No, I don't agree with you. By the way, I'm just typing something in chat so you can see, other people can get what you're saying. Vader.
I mean, if someone's recording this, then people can get what I'm saying later on.
Okay, hold up.
Sure.
You niggas need to get naked.
I agree with Pops.
I could get it.
Also, if you aren't Mooster, I stop typing the scans chat. Fucking Moose brain.
Is truly get noble team.
So it's like Primacy 1. It's like you say. You're saying okay. So you're saying Vader doesn't care about his own life. Then the extent the one after that is Vader cares about his future with Padme. Is your response? I'm gonna just ban your ass if you type in the scan chat. I'm annoyed.
You understand what I mean when I say Vader doesn't care about his own life, right?
Okay, hold up. Okay, but that's what I mean though, because constantly throughout this conversation, the reason why we keep having these back and forths is because you're using wrong terms linguistically. Or you're just saying
you're just not asking me what I'm meaning. Just ask me. I'll answer the question.
Yeah, because we repeat it 3 times. We go to
then obviously you know my answer. I don't understand the issue. My answer is very simple. When I say something as if he doesn't value his own life, he values his future with Padme. I'm not saying he's going to commit suicide, right? Because obviously he hasn't killed himself, so he has some sort of value, right?
Do you agree by extension? Let me ask you this question. Do you agree by extension that if Vader
No, your argument doesn't follow. If that's what you're asking.
Give me a second.
Okay.
I'm looking for who's talking because I wanted to ban him. Okay. Yeah. So what was I saying? Oh yeah. So by extension, if Vader doesn't care about his own life, but then he somehow cares about Padme, but again, via the extension of that, Vader's own life would be a potential life with Padme, right? He would care about his own life. So go ahead and tell me specifically what you mean that Vader does not care about his own life. Give me a specific iteration of that.
Yeah, I'm not talking about in some existential sense, right? Otherwise, he would have committed suicide by now or something, right? When I say Vader doesn't value his own life, I'm saying that when he does things like these missions, when he has goals, his goal, or in any way, and his way to achieve it, is he attempting to preserve his life as a means of getting to that goal, right? So you saying, oh, look at him, he's diving through lava, he's doing all that. Yeah, but that's just Vader. He just doesn't give a shit. That's what I'm saying.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't. So what do you think Vader's like we have to go this so this is like characterization now. Like what do you think Vader's mentality or characterization is throughout like his reason for living, even after figuring out Padme dies, before he even figures out that he can bring Padme back or he has a chance? What do you think
What is his
Vader's
reason for living?
Yeah,
I'd assume it'd be serving the Emperor.
Okay, so his reason for living, according to you, is serving the Emperor.
Yeah.
Okay, and why is that important to Vader?
It's all he has.
So all he has is the Emperor.
Yep.
Okay, so in a way, right, as you know from Vader's characterization, Vader cared about the Emperor to some extent because that's the only person that he had at one point, and that's the only person that he knows that's still alive, that he still has like a mutual connection with, or they have somewhat of a relationship, even if the Emperor does him dirty and uses manipulation tactics and backstabs him. That's like the only person he has, correct?
Yeah, I'd assume so. Without like, there's obviously some people who aren't in there, but yeah, generally.
Yeah, so Vader at this time period, he's going down mission to mission to mission, trying to accomplish different task after different task, right?
Yeah.
Again, he wouldn't want to kill himself because he wants to serve the Emperor.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
the
So
fuck?
if Vader doesn't want to kill himself because he wants to serve the Emperor, but then again he's doing things that could potentially lead into his death out of anger, then he's directly conflating with the two. The Emperor wouldn't tell Vader to go and jump into lava and potentially kill himself.
Yeah, I'd agree because Padme takes precedence over the Emperor.
Yeah. Wait. What'd you say?
Because Padme takes precedence over the Emperor?
Yeah, okay. So Vader's entire goal completely shifted in terms of his level of care because he was careless when jumping into the lava and what he did specifically within that battle.
I don't think he was careless at all because he was well protected.
That is a form of carelessness.
Not when you put a force shield around yourself and come out unscathed.
It doesn't matter if he's somewhat protected. He's still
It
putting
does.
himself into danger. No, it's
But
not.
he's not. When he protects himself.
Let me give an example.
So you love your examples.
If I was to like walk into like Chirac or like World War II or something, and I just because I had a pistol or I had a bulletproof vest and I could protect myself, that doesn't mean that I'm not putting myself into danger. So
yeah, because those are fallible. The Force's shield is not fallible. That's the issue.
Okay, no. The reason why it is fallible, I'm going to show you the fallible nature of it, is because there's an army of people with weapons above him. So yes, that doesn't mean
the Force shield is going to break due to some blaster fire.
No, what it means is that he can't continuously hold the Force shield there while protecting himself from lava and fighting that army of people. And it's not until his troop brigade comes and backs him up and then takes out the army of people.
Wait, he made a choice to dive into lava. We agree?
Yes.
Okay, and he was well protected when he did so and came out unharmed. We agree?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so if I walked into Chirac with a force field on that couldn't be penetrated, would I be putting myself into carelessness danger?
It depends on if the force field is infinite or not. In Vader's case, it's not infinite. It's not.
Okay.
He can't continuously hold that force field up.
But he could do it long enough to be safe from the lava. We agree?
Not long enough for you to be saved from the lava and the army of people ahead of you.
Yeah, but that's why he escaped the army of people, which is why he went in the lava.
No, that's why he had backup from his troops that came in last minute and then protected him. So that's different. So yeah,
well, I'm so confused. What's the carelessness?
Okay, so the carelessness is him doing this against an army of characters by himself while also charging through lava instead of waiting for his troops. He was urgent to get to the temple. So his urgency prioritized over his health and safety. He didn't care because
it prioritized
to get to the temple.
I agree he prioritized it, but I don't think that put him into careless danger because he was fine the entire time.
He wasn't because the troops came last minute. You're failing to understand.
I don't understand. Like he was never in danger. At what point did the troops ever threaten his life? Where is he being threatened by the troops? Just answer that.
Hold up.
Where is he being threatened by the troops?
Vader would be threatened. Vader would be harmed by those troops if Vader did not have help. That's my point.
How do you know?
Yes, because those troops would have overwhelmed Vader after just protecting himself with the Force. He just completely used a large amount of energy that he wouldn't be able to continuously use again. Hello? Interesting.
Wow, sounds like a burner rejoinder.
Debate's over.
I'm back. What's up?
Okay. My point is that Vader wouldn't continuously Vader after using or exerting an increased amount of energy would not be able to output that same amount of energy again.
Vader, say it again?
Vader using a force shield through the lava, he expended a large amount of force energy.
How do you know?
Yeah, because that takes a large amount of force energy.
How do you know how much force energy it takes? Do you have like some
because,
measure on you?
Yeah, because I've seen Vader put force fields over himself and be shot by blasters or directly used. What's the technique called again?
I don't know.
What is it called? What is it called? I was just talking about it earlier today.
I don't know. To the menace.
Tata minus, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Vader
can't use that. So I'm confused what you're talking about.
Yeah, so Vader directly like protecting himself from like blaster bolts or blaster fire is completely different than like lava, which would be again stronger than all of those things.
What's the difference?
Yeah, lava's stronger. It takes more energy than just a blaster bolt.
I'm so good. Okay, you're saying it's stronger. Do you think he's just like doing like levels of force fields? Is that what you think?
No, he's using a force field to continuously protect himself from the lava that's burning and peering through.
And obviously he didn't have an issue doing that, did he?
To what extent? I think
to the extent where he's unharmed
and extra energy. But yeah,
but I haven't seen that. Where is he expending extra energy?
He's exerting energy with the force.
Oh, okay. He's used extra energy. So what?
And then afterwards, after expending that much energy, there's a troop of enemies above him, and he no longer has that force shield on. And it's not until his troops and battalion bail him out.
Wait, but why should it matter?
Okay, okay.
Like, say you can put it on again. Why can't he put it on again? I'm so confused.
Okay, I'm gonna.
What's the argument for he can't use this?
Okay, he doesn't. He doesn't do it while fighting that army of enemies.
He doesn't feel like he needs to. It's just Vader. He's not any threat. You understand that?
Okay, that's not the same analogy, and that's horrible.
I'm not making an analogy. I'm literally looking at the scan and telling you what's happening. Right? You like your analogies. I like looking at the scans.
Okay. If Vader is capable of charging right through an army of characters, right, and he's being shot by blaster balls, fires, and monsters and things like that, and he's able to use a force shield to protect himself, but he's being harmed again, Vader could simply put a force field over himself during that battle, but he doesn't.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to.
No, what? Okay, no.
Yes, because we're talking about Vader here. This isn't like Mr. Pacifist. You understand that, right? Like his goal is never to put on a force field and just walk through.
I understand Vader's character perfectly, 100%.
I hope so. So what's the issue?
Okay, so what I'm saying is what you're saying requires a higher assumption.
Oh my god, what the fuck is that argument? What is the assumption, Kruos?
Your assumption is that Vader simply doesn't want to when there's a reason for him to do so.
Yeah, but that's not in Vader's character. It wouldn't matter.
Wait, no, yes, it is. 100% is.
Isn't Vader's character to put on a force field and walk through the enemies?
Yes, Vader's character should be tactically as smart as possible.
No, that's in no way true. Do you remember that one scan where he literally faces his entire army himself and he's like, "You're all dead men"? Do you think that was tactically good?
No, but because his intent.
Okay, so he's obviously not tactically perfect.
No. Okay. Well, no, there's a difference between him being tactical during this comic at his apex of battling and him most actively versus that comic.
What does it have to do with battle IQ at all?
What? I just highlighted the difference. He's in.
You just said he's in battles. That's cool. What is the point then? Does he lose battle IQ when he doesn't battle a lot?
Listen. Yes, you would. What the fuck?
What? You think Vader's just becoming dumber over time?
No, you're a retard. If somebody is in constant,
I don't appreciate that.
If somebody is in constant wars or constant battles and conflicts, and they're constantly using their brains to operate at a high level, but then they're not in as many frequent battles or wars.
No, you would not have higher battle IQ. I don't know who told you that. Where you made that up from?
More reactive. You would be more reactive.
More reactive? Sure, you're more reactive. It doesn't mean you have more tactical experience or more tactical IQ, does it? No, not more tactical.
Okay, hold up. What's your point? What your point is literally saying? This is the equivalent of what you're saying, right? If there's like a grandmaster in chess, and a grandmaster is playing somebody in chess, and he constantly plays chess all the time throughout years and years and years of playing chess. But then the grandmaster stops playing chess during a scene. He stops for like a couple of years. He only plays it once a month, right? That grandmaster at that point in time is not as good as he was when he played every single day for years. That is a horrible analogy.
It depends on his age, not how much he's playing.
No, it doesn't. It has nothing.
It does. Okay, look at any chess player in the world. Look at Kasparov. Look at Karpov. Look at Capablanca. Like, you don't know chess. Don't use chess analogies. Pick something else.
Okay, I do, obviously. That's why I'm using it. But
really?
Again, there's a difference, right, between a character who's reacting as well as adapting within a scenario to be put in through intense situations multiple times rapidly.
I mean, you can make it whatever you want. It's just not true. Like,
I'm explaining to you why it is true. You can disagree. I'm explaining to you why a character who's actively in the battle is better than a character who's rusty and hasn't been in the battle.
No one cares whether he's better. That's not the question, Isa. The question is, at what point would he walk through the battlefield with a force field on, not slaughtering anybody? The answer is never, because that's not Vader.
Yeah, Vader would do the most tactical thing possible.
Okay, so then you don't know Vader. I'm sorry. You're just not a Star Wars fan. That's just what it is. And I feel sorry for you. It's okay.
I do. I 100% know more about
You
Vader.
don't know Vader. You don't, unfortunately. Because Vader would never just be the pacifist and just walk through to achieve his goal. It's not Vader.
Okay. Did you read Vader versus Grand Admiral Tarkin?
Yep.
Yeah, so Vader was a pacifist throughout that entire comic for the most part until he charges later and then he turns off his breathalyzer to beat the shit out of Tarkin. So Vader
because you understand the whole point of that scenario is because Vader wanted to try to fight an enemy who wouldn't brute force his way through him, right? Like that's not how he normally acts at all.
Not the point. The point was
oh my god, read the comics, please.
I have.
Really?
I have the scan saved. What the fuck?
Send them, please. Show us how he acts in a normal scenario. He planned that game with Tarkin because he was bored and he wanted to see how much fun he could have. What are you talking about?
Look in scan chat. This is such a retarded argument.
Because you don't read the scans that you post. That's the issue. As you like to claim you read Vader comics, and then you go and give me like the synopsis of some comic, and you have no idea what actually happened in it.
Yeah, sure, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, look at what you just posted. I'm like, he ran through lava. He's so angry.
I'm posting this scan. 1 second. Here we go. Yeah,
if you're just gonna show him doing the tack,
Scan chat right before he has Tarkin go ahead and try to hunt him, because Tarkin, again, for context, is an admiral who's more proficient, if not just as proficient as Vader in strategy, who's been leading the Empire in most of their assaults in battle, right? So he says, "Oh, go ahead, try to kill me if you can," because he wants to challenge himself, right?
Yes.
Then he says, "Okay, let me finish." He wants to know that he could still be challenged, could still possibly be beaten, even if a galaxy devoid of Jedi. So he wants to know what could the world or what could the galaxy possibly throw at him, and there's no other person better to test that than Tarkin. So when the ship lands and he fights against Tarkin, he does not effortlessly or recklessly charge Tarkin, even if he was drastically stronger and faster. So he plays passively
because this is oh my god.
He plays passively because he knows he can't charge Tarkin head on.
Okay, no, you don't know Star Wars, first of all. Second of all, the whole point of this scenario with Tarkin was because he wanted a different means of fighting compared to his normal run through and kill everybody. As you just said, he ran out of Jedi to brute force. So looking back at the normal Vader,
there's nothing that states that.
Why would you want to fight a tactician if you wanted to brute force him?
Okay, again, you can brute force through it.
Okay, so you're wrong. That's what I thought. You wouldn't you can brute force a tactician?
Yeah, yes. 100%.
Give me an example of that in Star Wars. Give me one example.
Okay, so just because a character is incredibly smart, Anakin Skywalker in the Clone Wars during like the first or second season, when he takes the tanks and he walks them on the ship after losing, or Anakin Skywalker fights that one that one separatist droid that can calculate like almost every scenario, and then they say that Anakin has like less than a 20% chance to win. And what Anakin does is they're like, oh, he can't get through this blockade. There's no way statistically he can do it. And you know what Anakin does? He directly brute forces and charges an entire ship through his blockade. You're a fucking idiot.
No one's talking about that. That's not a tactician. What are you talking about? You're talking about fighting an army head on.
You just said, give you an example. Listen to what I'm saying. You said give you an example in Star Wars where characters can override tacticians with brute power, and I give you an exact example of when that happens.
Okay,
so
we're not talking about. Oh my lord!
You can listen to me speak.
I mean, you keep talking. Okay. I just don't know what to say.
Because you're not actually responding, so I have to iterate.
Okay, you want me to respond?
So you respond.
You want me to respond?
Yeah, respond to what I'm saying.
Okay, when we talk about tacticians versus brute force, we're not talking about setting up a blockade and having somebody power through it. Obviously, people are going to power through blockades. You understand that? What we're talking about is putting Vader head on with a tactician like Tarkin. He's not going to be able to brute force that because Tarkin has contingency plans that would make it so he could never do that.
Oh, okay. So you agreed to what I just said, but you disagreed initially. Interesting.
What are you talking about?
So Vader played passively because he knows that he can't charge Tarkin head on, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, you literally just went down, bro. Please.
No one ever disagreed with that. Oh my god. New York City has gotten the rats in your brain.
Recording, please, because 100%.
I'm recording it.
Okay, good, 100%. Clip that to me. Clip that like the last 10 minutes of this and
this isn't Twitch, bro. I don't know what you want me to do.
It's an OBS. You can't clip 10 minutes ago. Like
no, I can send you the entire recording if you want.
Okay, sure. What's
okay?
How far are you into the recording?
About an hour.
Okay, so it should be like the last 50 minutes to an hour. Okay, sure. Okay.
I'm sure Jin was recording though. He can say
Okay,
it.
yeah. I just wanted that because the entire point of why we went down this tangent is because like you're being an idiot about Vader's mindset. And we're talking about how tactical he is, and I said that in the case where Vader can be as tactical as possible, he would. And you said Vader is never passive, and I said no, Vader is passive.
I never said that.
Let me. No, your entire point was that Vader is never. Okay, let me finish. You said Vader is never passive under the context of how he would fight continuously, and then I gave the Tarkin example, and you said no, that's because of who Tarkin was. And I said, no, that's because Tarkin directly challenged him as an opposition to the point where Vader knew that he couldn't brute force his way through Tarkin, so he was able to take the logistical route. But in the example for Vader versus the clones that you gave, but an example for Vader versus the clones where he says, all I see is fear and dead man, that is completely different because Vader's entire mentality, because he wasn't in battles as frequently as he was during these comics.
No, it's such a fucking broad connection. Oh, he wasn't in battles. His mentality was different. How fucking stupid of a point. The reason he didn't do the same thing he did with Tarkin in battles is because he specifically set up Tarkin to be a tactical challenge. When he's in battle, as we've seen every time so far, when he's fighting Eth Koth, when he's fighting Seer, he is brute forcing his way through these enemies. He is in no way becoming a tactical mastermind. He is in no way becoming passive.
A 1v1 versus a 1v100 or 1v20 is completely different.
What do you think the difference is in this case that makes it relevant?
What makes it relevant is, again, who he's fighting and what they have specifically. So, like electrical devices to short out his suit, large blasters, rockets, potential EMPs, and things like that.
So, give me an example of him being tactical in a battle, then.
Yeah, so an example that I gave you is, again, the same comic, Vader 2017, issue 25. Vader is not being tactical here, again, showing that he is angry. That's my point. In every other scenario we see Vader in, he's extremely tactical.
He's never tactical, but okay.
Yes, that's do you want me to get you statements that say Vader is like one of the smartest people in the galaxy? Like, do you want me to get you leader statements and his IQ and his battle IQ?
I want some tactical statements. For the tactical statements.
You want me to get you statement stuff on his strategy?
Yeah, let's see it.
Second, you're a retard.
Okay.
Holy shit. Let's see. I don't know Star Wars.
Forms and styles don't do anything in Star Wars. You would know that if you read anything about Star Wars.
Forms don't do anything in Star Wars?
Nope.
Oh yeah, you're an idiot.
Okay, name me a time where a form was relevant. Name me a time where a form was relevant, real quick.
You're an idiot.
Name me a time. Just name me one time where form was relevant.
Jim So versus the Jim So or Form 3 and Form 2. Obi-Wan.
Jim So is in Form 3.
Okay, no, that's not what I was referencing. I'm referring to Anakin style countering Obi-Wan style and vice versa. There's also the fact that Obi-Wan.
When did that ever happen?
Yeah, Obi-Wan is a defensive form used against Anakin's offensive form.
Tell me when was it relevant?
It's relevant under the context that they're countering and parrying each other. Like what?
Give me a scan that shows that the forms were the reason that they were able to counter each other, and I'll get rid of this right now. Go ahead.
Sure. There's stands that so there's stands that directly highlight. Okay, let me finish speaking.
I just want to yes or no. Do you have a scan?
I'm also looking for the Vader tactical stand, your shotgun.
Forget about that one. Just find me the scan of the forms.
So you want me to forget that one? So you're going to ignore that point that you.
I don't care. That point's boring now. I'd rather talk about this.
Okay, so do you agree that Vader's tactical? Because then we can get into this. Okay, so you don't think Vader's a strategist or he's a tactical fighter?
Nope.
Okay, so I'm gonna go get that scan, and then I'm gonna go ahead and shit on you about why forms matter in Star Wars.
Go ahead. I'm waiting.
Give me a second. I want to pull this out. Real.
Bro thinks Maul wasn't being tactical with the Jin kill, that Obi shit on because he's my go. Direct example of battle style affecting the battle. Well, Jin was caught off guard. That really has nothing to do with battle style. Like him using Form 7 didn't really mean much to that attack.
It did. What the fuck?
That was not a Form 7 attack. No.
Okay. Do you know Form 7 directly? Okay, wait, you're talking about who using Form 7?
We're talking about Maul Form 6. We're talking about Maul versus Qui-Gon.
Yeah, do you know Qui-Gon's style limited his defense, so as the fight continued, Qui-Gon technically got weaker?
Really? I haven't seen that. You post that?
Yeah, for the form in general, like not prioritizing defense, I got you.
No. I don't care whether it prioritizes defense.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean anything to what you said.
So if something doesn't prioritize defense and you're consistently fighting a character, then again you would slowly get weaker and weaker and weaker because you have less defense throughout the fight. 100%.
I'm not even gonna argue with you. It just doesn't matter to me.
Let me get this.
I just want one saying he's a tactician.
Yo, Moose,
I don't
who's
need
the judge of this debate?
The judge, God. That's who I'm choosing.
Fuck.
You heard me.
You
don't need like 8. I just need one saying he's a tactician. It's okay. You don't need like 8 of them. What I'm afraid you're gonna do.
I'm going through scenes. I'm just gonna get an Anakin scene.
Do any of them say tactician? Oh, wait, so you're not fighting like a scan saying he's a tactician anymore. You're just fighting a scene where he's done something tactical. And it's Anakin too? Oh, God. Is that what you intend to hold?
I mean, most of Vader stuff are like I'm just gonna get a scene because it's easier to tell. And it's better also than the statement.
Okay, what's the scene?
It's the scene I was referencing when he beats the odds against a droid that can like account for all like possibilities and like percentages, and he beats them several times. He outmaneuvers like droids that are programmed for battle and strategy. Then he also led the Clone Wars for like 5 years straight as like the main leader. Anakin is also stated to be like really brilliant at that time, and he gets like their biggest wins throughout the entirety of the Clone Wars. He's definitely like the most prominent, and like it's his like a rationality that makes him a good leader. Like he does things that aren't necessarily the typical way that a Jedi would do, so then he's able to like outsmart opponents. So like he is an excellent tactician.
So let's say real quick, let's say I just steal on that. That's fine, right? Let's just say that. Do you think that Anakin and Vader are the same mentally when it comes to battle?
No, I think Vader's smarter than Anakin.
Okay, then we just disagree completely, and I don't know where to go.
Yeah, Vader went through more battles than Anakin and fought for like 10 plus years longer. It's like no, it's like wait, hold up. It's Vader. No, he fought for 19 years of more battle experience. There you go.
No, that's okay if you think so.
Yeah, 19 years more of battle experience would make somebody smarter. 100%.
It doesn't change your. Okay, sure.
Also, if you want to go like the Rebels comics where he's outsmarting like entire squadrons, or during Rebels when Tarkin and the rest of them pull up and like all those admirals like they try to like stop the Rebel base or like Ghost Squadron and Rebels and they can't, and then Vader pulls up and almost completely ends the series within a single episode. Like,
oh yeah, what do you do?
When Vader pulls up and completely traps them, and then they drop the ATK and he overpowers it and they barely escape.
So where's the tactician in that?
Yeah, so Vader directly knew their intent and that they would come back to the base, and he says that you're weak. And then Vader directly watches them from above on top of the pavilion, and then he doesn't attack them while they're running through the base. He waits until he catches them slipping because they're going to go back for their own. And then as soon as they go back for their own, because he unends characters and warriors psychologically, he then appears and they say, what is that code? What is that presence? And then they're like, oh, it's Vader. And then they say, just run. You can't beat him. That's like the entire point. So
you just ran for 5 minutes to tell me like a very simple sentence. You could have just said he knew their intentions. That's not tactics, right?
That is what? Are you fucking?
Do you think that makes you a tactician if you just read someone's intentions? Just yes or no. Just yes or no. Does that make you? All right. I disagree.
That doesn't inherently make you a tactician, but that's a form of tactics that.
Yeah, it's a form of tactics, but it doesn't make you a tactician. I just want evidence that he's a tactician. That's all I want. Where do you say he's a tactician? That's all I want.
Again.
No, don't like point out.
What is?
You said you had scans of him being stated tactician. Is that not what you said?
You said what?
You said you had scans of him being stated to be a tactician, yes?
No. I said that, but then I clarified by saying him being a great strategist, or just statements that talk about his knowledge of battle.
Yeah, then I don't care. Like I was looking for a scan that
itself,
showed that he had like some sort of inherent
itself,
tactical
okay,
mental
I'm gonna
state.
tell you right now. That itself is retarded because a tactician is literally just a person who uses a carefully planned strategy, and Vader does that like multiple times, or Anakin does that multiple times.
Okay, I don't know what to tell you. Like whenever Vader goes into battle, he just doesn't use strategy in his fights. I just don't know what to tell you.
Whenever he told his troops or he leads like Imperials through battles, he doesn't use strategy. He just tells them to go rampant, just start shooting shit. That's what he says.
Do you think that's what I'm talking about when I say tactician? Like,
You know
go
what
and fight.
I just read the definition of a tactician.
I'm glad you can read Google. I don't care. That's not what I'm talking. What I'm talking about is Vader tactician. I'm talking about does he utilize specific fighting strategies when he goes into battle?
I don't care about your arbitration.
Holy shit! How have you been debating for 5 years and you still sound like garbage? How is that possible? You're using the word arbitration like that, and you're reading off a fucking Google definition. It's very simple. All you have to do is ask me to define my words, and I can use them for you.
All this, and no one really cares. No one in this gives a fuck.
What are you talking about? I'm explaining why you're wrong. That's the issue.
You're using an arbitrary definition of what you think a tactician is.
Oh my god!
I described the official, legitimate definition and how Anakin and Vader.
5 years you've been debating. 5 years, and you just told me arbitrary definition. I just want you to sink that in real quick. Yeah. Okay? Because when I say the word tactician, I don't really care what Google has to say. Right?
You don't
what
care
I'm
about
looking
the
for,
okay,
what I'm looking for is for you to find a scan stating he's a tactician. Could you find one or not?
Again,
yes or no? Did you find a scan or not? So you didn't find a scan, is what I'm hearing. So no, you didn't find a scan, and when you said you had a scan, you really didn't.
We can go on to that. So I already proved that Vader is a great tactician and a great strategist.
Yeah, you proved it. Do you have a scan or no?
I already proved that.
Yeah, do you have a scan or no?
Yeah, he used a strategy. I showed you him being a tactician.
Yeah, that's real smart. Yeah, he's a real tactician.
Yeah,
you made
thanks.
such good inferences.
He beats all odds. He completely shits on people.
Completes all odds. Oh, he's such a tactician. And yet you said you had a scan where you say the tactician, and he doesn't.
He uses like guerrilla tactics and things like that. 100%.
Guerrilla tactics. Yeah, he's a tactician.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for the concession. You're a retard.
Oh, thanks for the concession. 5 years, by the way, guys. 5 years, and he's been saying this shit 5 years.
But yeah, like so Vader at this point, like mentally, like this would like just prove my point about his mentality, about him not just being smart and just being just as reckless as he was during the Vader 20.
It's not reckless. It's not reckless when it's planned, but go off.
So yeah, that just proves my point that the same mentality, he's just as angry, which again just submits my Vader point.
Not just as angry. Never proved just as angry. Never proved that he's a tactician in the sense that any of his actions would be hindered by anger.
You can think that, like,
sure, we can enter that. I don't mind. I mean, oh my god. How do you make such fucking horrible inferences? Like, you have to have an IQ higher than that. I know you do, because you're not stupid. 100%. And yet you're saying he dove through lava, therefore he's just as angry as when his anger consumed the fucking room.
That's not what I said. I said he dove through lava.
I got it wrong, guys. I'm so sorry.
A disadvantageous position against a rebel army. So you're a retard.
Therefore, he has the same anger as when he engulfed an entire room?
Therefore, there's not a reason for us to constitute why the anger that he showed before was greater, aside from saying
okay, so you're stupid. Nice.
So this place
it can't be angry, guys. It can't be worse because he dove into lava. Keep that in mind, guys.
You just strawman me again because I just.
It can't be worse. He dove into lava, guys. Everyone got that in mind? Keep it in mind. It's true. He can't be more angry. I'm sorry, he can't be less angry.
That's what happens when like niggas like start debating and they think they're good and they just start saying like.
Well, here's the issue: is you make the worst inferences with the worst evidence. You don't connect any of it properly, and then when you try and prove your points, and the ones that you do prove mean nothing at all in your evidence. Okay, let's say Vader's a tactician. Okay, he dove into lava. Where's the connection to him being as angry as when he engulfed an entire room? And you prove nothing, and it's all on recording, and someone can post it. But this is like the most stupid shit ever.
Can you do me a favor though? When you get this recording, don't like go into like your echo chamber like side server and then keep it by yourself. Send it to me so I can like post it so everyone can like laugh at you for how retarded you sound.
I'm sure Tamaki or someone else was recording it. Just ask it for them, okay?
Sure. No, send it to me just in case. Tamaki, are you recording?
I'm sure he or Jin is. They're always recording something.
I don't know. Jin's here. Jin, you here? Let me look.
Yeah, I'm here, but I have not been recording. I've just been laughing.
Okay, well, yeah. Send me your recording.
How Moose said
okay, $20, and I got you.
No. We're not. I'm not getting into how retarded that was. I just want him to send me this recording because people have a habit of like going into side servers and like talking shit, but then they never want to make the recording public. So
I don't need to talk shit because I just spoke to you and you said the stupidest shit ever. So I don't really care to even bring up your name. Like you're not a feat when you say the stupidest shit in fucking reality.
Cool. How long do you think it takes you to send me the recording?
After $20, I could think 2 days.
Okay, so 2 days it takes you to send me the recording.
Well, hold on. You missed the first part.
So you want $20 for the recording?
Yeah.
So you're broke.
No, you gotta act broke to stay rich. I guess you wouldn't understand that, but you know how it be.
Okay, so you're never gonna send me the recording? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I will. But
Okay.
I mean, just $20 and I got you.
Yeah, this is cringe.
Why?
Very cringe.
Why? Because it's free money. Why not?
You just want to use
everyone's
one
here.
extra
I'm
for
sure
recording.
someone else recorded it.
I never heard somebody so confident not be willing to share the recording. And again, like that's just
Oh, it'll be uploaded. I promise. I'm just, $20 to send it to you. You know.
Okay, sure. It's cool. I'll just
Oh,
copy
yeah.
and paste it, steal it from whatever channel you post on. It's cool.
Oh, it'll be unlisted, buddy. You're not gonna get to see that.
Yeah, that's cringe.
What's the point of posting if it's unlisted?
Yeah, because he wants an echo chamber. He wants to do this is the cringeest conversation.
You want to hear your voice? Well, I'm so confused.
This is the cringeest.
It's not being sent to anybody. That's like the point. I'm just keeping it for myself, right?
What do you got, Draco or Ice?